Children of the eternal light, hear these words with the strength of truth and the clarity of divine sight. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when what is hidden strains against its shadows. When truth trembles at the edge of revelation, when the veil thins, and heaven stirs your spirit with a whisper you cannot ignore. You feel that stirring now. Not a whisper of fear, but a summons of clarity. Not a call to suspicion, but a call to awakening. For what concerns your heart has risen into the open realm, and the heavens themselves are urging your eyes to see what your soul already senses. Do not tremble. Do not fall into chaos. Stand as one who carries divine authority. For truth, no matter how heavy, never arrives to destroy you. It arrives to free you. If something about your partner's actions, words, or path has been placed before your awareness, if the digital world has become the stage where hidden things surface, this is not coincidence, this is not accident, this is alignment. The heavens do not expose to harm you, they expose to equip you. When truth appears online, it is because your spirit is ready. When secrets surface, it is because your destiny refuses to be delayed. When the veil is lifted, it is because your future cannot be built on shadows. Do not rush to anger. Do not be swallowed by fear. Stand in calm, in discernment, in the armor of wisdom. You are not being called to spy, you are being called to see, to witness with clarity, to choose from strength, to rise from truth rather than illusion. If revelation comes, meet it with the dignity of the light. If disappointment comes, meet it with the power of self-worth. If transformation comes, meet it with the courage that heaven knows you possess. You are guided. You are protected. You are not stepping into the unknown alone. Remember this. Truth revealed is truth that frees. What is meant for you cannot be stolen. What is not aligned with you cannot remain. Walk forward, open your eyes, and let the light show you what your soul is ready to understand. Truth revealed is divine timing, and when the veil lifts, it does so with a precision no human hand could orchestrate. There are moments in your life when information surfaces, not because you went searching for it, not because someone whispered it, and not because you happened to be in the right place at the right time, but because the universe itself decided it was time for you to know. Timing is not random. Timing is alignment. The truth arrives exactly when your spirit is strong enough to face it, when your heart is prepared to understand it, and when your path is ready to shift because of it. You may think you are stumbling upon something by accident, but in the unseen realm, nothing is accidental. There are nudges, intuitions, restless thoughts, and sudden moments of clarity that pull you toward revelation. These are not coincidences. They are signals that the season of blindness has ended, when truth reveals itself, especially when it concerns someone close to your heart. It does not come to destroy you. It comes to illuminate what has been holding you back. There is nothing more sacred than clarity. You may have felt a quiet discomfort, a subtle knowing that something unseen was shaping your relationship or influencing your peace. For a long time you may have brushed it aside, hoping it was just worry or imagination. Yet the soul knows. The spirit feels what the eyes cannot yet see. And when the moment is right, the truth steps out from the shadows, so you can walk forward without chains. Divine timing protects you from premature pain. If the truth had arrived earlier, you might have been too attached, too trusting, too hopeful, or too vulnerable to handle it. If it had been delayed any longer, you might have sunk deeper into an illusion that could have cost you even more. But when it arrives at the exact moment it does, it meets you at a point of inner readiness. That readiness may not feel comfortable, but it is powerful. In divine timing, truth becomes a doorway rather than a wound. Sometimes truth appears in the digital world, online, on a screen, in a message, a post, a comment, or a revelation you did not expect. And even then, the timing is not accidental. What surfaces online is often what has been hidden in the energy for a long time. The universe uses whatever channel it must to bring you the clarity you have earned. It does not concern itself with how the truth reaches you, it concerns itself only that it does. When it arrives through technology, it is simply using the fastest and most undeniable route. This timing is also tied to your evolution. You cannot rise while anchored to what is false. You cannot grow while bound to what is unstable. You cannot move into your next chapter while carrying someone else's hidden shadows. So the universe intervenes. It pulls back the curtain. It forces honesty into the open, not to punish you, but to reposition you. Truth is not an attack, it is a transition. It clears the illusions that kept you stagnant and makes room for decisions rooted in strength rather than hope alone. Divine timing also means that what is revealed is part of a larger plan. It may feel sudden, but it is the result of an energetic buildup. Your intuition noticing patterns, your emotions signaling imbalance, your spirit seeking peace. The truth's arrival is a response to your soul's call for alignment. You may not have spoken that desire out loud, but the universe heard it in every moment you wished for honesty, depth, loyalty, and real connection. When your desires no longer match the reality of a situation, the truth is pushed to the surface, so the mismatch can no longer be ignored. And with divine timing comes divine protection. You are not meant to walk blindly into harm, betrayal, or deception. You are not meant to build a future on information that is incomplete or manipulated. When truth comes, it shields you from greater loss and redirects you toward what genuinely aligns with your spirit. Even if it shakes you, it preserves you. Even if it hurts, it heals more than it wounds. Divine timing ensures that nothing is revealed to destroy your heart, only to redirect it. You may not immediately understand why the truth is coming to light now, You may feel confused, overwhelmed, or even betrayed. But with time, you will see that this moment is a turning point. It is the universe's way of saying, you deserve clarity, not guessing. You deserve honesty, not secrets. You deserve alignment, not chaos. And so, the truth arrives, not a minute too soon, not a moment too late, but precisely when your spirit is ready to rise above whatever has been dimming its glow. Truth, revealed in divine timing, is an act of love from the universe, a reminder that you are guided, watched over, and protected. It calls you to trust the timing, even when the message is heavy. It invites you to step forward with eyes open and spirit strong. And most of all, it assures you that the revealing of truth is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your freedom. Your spirit sensed what your eyes are now meant to see, because the soul always knows long before the mind catches up. There is an ancient intelligence within you, quiet, steady, deeply intuitive, that begins signaling truth long before it ever appears in the physical world. You may have felt it as a tug, a whisper, a sudden shift in energy, or a subtle discomfort you could not explain. These sensations were not paranoia or imagination. They were early warnings from the part of you that cannot be lied to. The soul feels imbalance, dishonesty, and hidden intentions long before evidence ever surfaces. It recognizes what your conscious mind has not yet acknowledged, and it prepares you gently for the moment when the truth will finally arrive. For a long time you may have brushed off these feelings. You may have told yourself you were overthinking, that you were being too sensitive, that your fears were louder than your logic. But your spirit was not afraid. It was aware. It was listening to the energy beneath the words, the gaps between actions, the inconsistencies that your heart tried to rationalize. The human mind searches for explanations. The spirit recognizes truth. And deep within, you already knew something was off. You already sensed a shift, a hidden layer, a story unfolding behind the curtain. Even when you tried to silence it, your inner knowing continued to speak. The reason your spirit sensed it first is because intuition operates without needing proof. It reads patterns, energies, silences, and emotional frequencies that your eyes will eventually confirm. You were not imagining the distance, the secrecy, the unanswered questions, or the sudden changes in behavior. You were not imagining the feeling that something was being withheld from you. Your soul collects these signals one by one, forming a picture long before the truth rises to the surface. And now, that picture is becoming clear because the time for clarity has arrived. Your eyes are meant to see now because your spirit has already done the preparation. It has strengthened you quietly, even in the moments when you felt most unsure. While you questioned yourself, your intuition stood firm. While you doubted your own judgment, your deeper self kept guiding you gently toward recognition. The uneasiness you felt was not weakness, it was wisdom trying to speak. The hesitation, the emotional tension, the sense that something was being hidden. These were all signs that your inner compass was pointing toward truth. There is a divine process in how intuition and revelation work together. The Spirit receives the message first, often in the form of discomfort or curiosity, or a repeating thought you cannot shake. This message lingers, grows, and eventually becomes impossible to ignore. Only then does the truth manifest externally. Through a moment of clarity, a message, a discovery, a shift in behavior, or something appearing online that confirms what you already felt. Your eyes are not seeing something new. They are seeing the physical confirmation of what your inner world has known for weeks, months, or even longer. Your spirit sensed the misalignment because it refuses to let you stay in a place that diminishes you. It alerts you not to cause fear, but to prepare you. It softens the blow long before the impact reaches your conscious awareness. Every uneasy feeling, every moment of doubt, every instinct that something wasn't right, these were protective signals meant to guide you toward truth without breaking you. Your spirit never wants you to be blindsided. It wants you to be aware, prepared, and strong when the moment of revelation finally arrives. And now, that moment is here. Not because you went searching for it, not because someone forced it, but because the truth has aligned with your readiness. What your eyes are seeing is not an accident. It is validation. It is confirmation. It is the universe showing you that your intuition was speaking the whole time, and now the veil is lifting so you can act from clarity rather than confusion. There is power in this moment. When the outer world finally matches the inner knowing, you gain a new level of strength. You begin to trust yourself more deeply. You recognize that you are not easily deceived, not easily misled, not easily blinded by affection or hope. Your spirit did not betray you. It guided you faithfully. It led you to a point where truth could no longer be hidden from you. Your eyes are seeing now because you have grown enough internally to handle what is being revealed externally. You may feel a mix of emotions: relief, sadness, frustration, or even a strange sense of calm. But all of these are signs that you are aligning with truth rather than resisting it. Your spirit has been holding space for this moment. It has been whispering, nudging, preparing you for this shift. You are not seeing the truth to harm yourself. You are seeing it because your soul is done living in uncertainty. What is revealed to your eyes now is not punishment. It is liberation. It is the breaking of illusions. It is the removal of masks. It is the universe saying, trust what you felt, trust what you knew, trust what your spirit tried to show you long before this moment. Your intuition is one of your greatest gifts. It is wiser than fear, stronger than doubt, and louder than deception. And now your eyes are simply catching up to what your spirit already understood. You sensed it because you were meant to. You see it now because the time for clarity has come. And from this clarity, you will rise with greater strength, deeper discernment, and unshakable inner truth. Revelation comes to free you, not break you, because truth is never sent to destroy the heart. it is sent to unchain it. When something hidden rises into the open, especially in matters of love, the first instinct is often fear. You may feel the sting of uncertainty, the shock of discovery, the heaviness of realizing that what you believed and what actually exists may not fully align. But even in the weight of that moment, the deeper purpose of revelation is liberation. It clears the fog that has been clouding your vision. It removes the illusions that have kept you guessing. It brings light into places where shadows once thrived. And although the truth may feel sharp when it first touches you, its true intention is to lift you out of confusion and place you on solid ground. Many people misunderstand revelation, thinking it arrives as punishment or judgment. But that is never the nature of truth. Truth does not come to shatter you, it comes to remove what is unsteady so something stronger can be built. When a truth about someone you care for becomes visible, especially through unexpected channels, it is not sent to make you crumble. It is sent to ensure you do not continue walking a path that keeps you small, uncertain, or bound to something that is not aligned with your highest peace. Revelation is an act of protection disguised as disruption. It removes the blindfold so you no longer waste time investing in what does not invest back, trusting what is not steady, or hoping for what is not fully honest. Revelation also shows you where your power truly lies. For too long you may have sensed something was off yet felt unable to act without proof. You may have questioned your intuition, doubted your own perceptions, or held on to hope even when your spirit felt unsettled. But when truth finally surfaces, it gives you permission to trust yourself. It confirms what your inner knowing already whispered. It reveals that your instincts were not wrong, and you were not imagining the energetic shifts that you felt deep within. In this way, revelation strengthens you. It teaches you that you are far more perceptive, intuitive, and spiritually aware than you once believed. Revelation frees you from illusions that would have cost you more pain over time. Sometimes what you wanted to believe was gentler than what was real, but wanting something to be true does not make it true, and ignoring subtle signs only postpones the inevitable. When truth comes forward, it accelerates your healing. It gives you the clarity to make choices from wisdom rather than emotion. It ends the cycle of waiting for answers that were never going to come through honesty. It breaks the ties that kept you emotionally suspended. With that clarity, you can finally breathe again, not because the situation is painless, but because it is real, and reality, even when heavy, is far kinder than illusion. What frees you most about revelation is the shift it creates inside you. It empowers you to stop settling. It reminds you of what you deserve. It lifts your standards back to their rightful place. It awakens the part of you that forgets how deeply worthy you are of transparency, loyalty, consistency, and respect. The moment truth arrives, you are no longer living in guesswork. You are no longer waiting for someone else's behavior to make sense. You are no longer stretching yourself thin trying to explain what your spirit already felt. The freedom that revelation brings is the freedom of clarity, an unshakable understanding that guides your next steps with strength rather than uncertainty. Revelation is also a doorway, not a dead end. It clears space for what is truly aligned with you. It removes people, connections, or circumstances that cannot travel with you into your next chapter, because they do not match your future. You were never meant to build your life around confusion. You were not meant to chase someone's truth or carry the burden of their secrecy. When revelation comes, it is the universe's way of saying, "This chapter is complete. It is time to rise into what comes next." That rising may be slow, gentle, and emotional, but it is still rising. Even the pain attached to revelation has purpose. Pain is not meant to punish you, it is meant to wake you. It sharpens your discernment. It teaches you boundaries. It strengthens your resilience. Pain is a teacher that clears out what is weak inside you so your spirit can stand taller. You do not rise because you avoid pain. You rise because pain shows you what you are no longer willing to tolerate. And in that rising, the purpose of revelation becomes clear. Freedom is worth discomfort. Alignment is worth disruption. And truth is worth facing even when it shakes your heart. Revelation also reconnects you to yourself. When you have been focused on someone else's behavior, energy, or patterns for too long, you may have drifted away from your own needs. You may have silenced your own voice. You may have put your own desires on hold. But when truth erupts, it pulls your attention back where it belongs, on your well-being, your direction, your peace. It reminds you that your purpose is not to carry someone else's secrecy or confusion. Your purpose is to walk a path that aligns with your integrity and emotional safety. As revelation frees you, it also shapes a new version of you. You begin to rise with clearer intuition, stronger boundaries, higher standards, and deeper self-respect. You become more aware of energetic shifts, more confident in your ability to sense truth, and less willing to allow anything or anyone to pull you into confusion. The freedom that truth brings is both internal and external. It unclutters your mind, steadies your emotions, and strengthens your inner foundation. And over time, you will see that the revelation you once feared was actually the moment everything began to turn in your favor. It was the turning point that set you on a path away from what was draining you and toward what will fulfill you. It was the moment your heart stepped back into alignment with itself. It was the moment you stopped clinging to uncertainty and began walking toward clarity. Revelation comes to free you, not to break you. Because you were never meant to live in the dark. You were never meant to doubt your worth. You were never meant to shrink yourself to keep a story intact. You were meant to see the truth, rise from it, and step into a future built on honesty, strength, and alignment. The truth may shake you, but it will never destroy you. It will rebuild you into someone even stronger, wiser, and more deeply aligned with your purpose. Stand in clarity, not fear, because fear blurs the vision while clarity sharpens it. When truth rises to the surface, especially truth that disrupts your relationships, expectations, or plans, Fear is often the first emotion to rush forward. It grips the heart, clouds the mind, and makes everything feel heavier than it truly is. Fear tries to convince you that you are powerless, that the unknown is dangerous, that change is something to avoid. But clarity has the opposite effect. Clarity brings steadiness. Clarity brings direction. Clarity brings the kind of strength that fear can never imitate. When you stand in clarity, you are grounded in truth, rather than overwhelmed by what-ifs. You are guided by awareness rather than anxiety. You respond from wisdom rather than reaction. Fear feeds on uncertainty. It magnifies shadows, causes you to imagine the worst, and keeps you trapped in emotional loops that serve no purpose. Fear blinds you. It makes you doubt your own intuition. It pushes you to question your worth and destabilize your confidence. When you face revealing truths, especially truths about someone close to your heart, fear tries to take over, whispering that the truth is too heavy, too painful, too disruptive. But clarity whispers something different. You can handle this. You are ready. You are stronger than you think. Clarity shows you what actually exists, not what your fears are inventing. Clarity cuts through emotional noise and brings you back to your center. Standing in clarity means allowing yourself to see what is real without letting emotion twist it into something even larger. It means giving yourself the chance to breathe, observe, and understand before acting. It means trusting that the truth has come to you at the right time, and that you are capable of facing it. When you stand in clarity, you remind yourself that knowing the truth, even when it hurts, is always better than living in confusion. Confusion drains the spirit. Truth strengthens it. Clarity also empowers you to make decisions rooted in self-respect. When you see the truth plainly, you can no longer be manipulated, delayed, or misled. You stop settling for half answers or excuses. You stop clinging to hope as a substitute for reality. With clarity, you see people for who they are, not who you wanted them to be. You see situations as they truly exist, not as you imagined them in your moments of vulnerability. This kind of vision is liberating. It gives you back your power. It breaks cycles that fear kept you trapped in. Standing in clarity means holding yourself steady, even when emotions rise. It means grounding yourself in what you know to be true, rather than spiraling into what you fear might happen. Fear exaggerates, but clarity balances. Fear isolates, but clarity reconnects you to your strength. Fear paralyzes, but clarity moves you forward. When truth appears, whether gently or suddenly, you get to choose which force leads you, and choosing clarity over fear is choosing freedom over entrapment. Clarity also teaches you discernment. It reveals who deserves your energy and who does not. It shows you which bonds are genuine and which are built on illusion. It allows you to recognize red flags not as personal failings, but as information. With clarity, you do not blame yourself for someone else's behavior. You do not take responsibility for someone else's secrets. Instead, you understand that revelation is simply part of your growth. You take the information before you, interpret it honestly, and move with intention. Clarity gives you the emotional intelligence to evaluate situations without letting fear distort your judgment. To stand in clarity means to remain anchored even when the truth challenges your expectations. You may feel disappointment, sadness, or anger, but these emotions become tools rather than traps. They help you understand your needs, boundaries, and self-worth more deeply. Clarity transforms emotional pain into insight. It shows you what is no longer acceptable in your life. It reminds you that you deserve honesty, consistency, and transparency. With clarity, you become less willing to shrink yourself to maintain peace with others. You realize that protecting your spirit matters more than protecting someone else's comfort. Fear wants you to believe that facing the truth will leave you broken. But clarity shows you that truth actually makes you whole. It fills in the missing pieces of the puzzle. It answers questions you've been afraid to ask. It exposes what you could not see, so that you no longer waste energy wondering. There is a quiet power that emerges when you stand in clarity. It is the power of knowing, understanding, and choosing from strength rather than survival mode. Standing in clarity also reconnects you to your intuition. When the truth aligns with what you sensed internally, your confidence grows. You begin to trust yourself more. You stop dismissing your inner voice. You stop silencing your instincts. Clarity reinforces the fact that you are deeply guided, deeply aware, and deeply capable of navigating your own life. It reminds you that you were never as lost as fear said you were. You simply needed confirmation, and now you have it. Clarity is not cold or emotionless. It is compassionate, steady, and stabilizing. It gives you emotional space to process without being overwhelmed. It helps you see the bigger picture. It brings you into alignment with what serves your spirit rather than what drains it. Standing in clarity means stepping into truth with grace, even when the truth is difficult. It means honoring your growth rather than clinging to old patterns. It means choosing to rise above confusion rather than sinking into it. And as you stand in clarity, you begin to see that the truth, no matter how disruptive, is never the enemy. Fear is. Fear keeps you bound. Fear keeps you guessing. Fear keeps you accepting less than you deserve. But clarity liberates you from all of that. It gives you the authority to say, I see the truth. I understand it. And I will act from a place of strength. In clarity, you stop negotiating with doubts. You stop minimizing your needs. You stop tolerating situations that exhaust your spirit. You see clearly, think clearly, and choose clearly. And through that clarity, you rise. Not because the truth is painless, but because the truth is powerful. Standing in clarity is your way of reclaiming your life. It is your way of saying you are worthy of transparency. It is your way of proving to yourself that you can face anything and emerge stronger. Clarity strengthens. Clarity liberates. Clarity aligns you with the life you were meant to live. And when you choose clarity over fear, you choose yourself every single time.